A huge moo to the herd, and welcome to episode 4 of our All the Mods 6 to the Sky playthrough. So today's episode is going to be what I hope to be finishing off the opening salvo of episodes. In previous episode we got a load of resources available, and as you can see behind me I have made a few tweaks to the setup, but it's been running for some time. We've got lots of resources to play with. So what I'd like to try and do today is to get refined storage set up, so that we can get crafting and get better storage options. And also I'd like to get Flux tools or Flux point or Flux something or other. Basically wireless power set up as well. It's going to make things a lot easier. So hopefully this will be a fun episode. So let's get it done. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is set up Flux Networks. That's what the name of the mod is. Had a complete brain fart when I was doing the intro. So first thing I want to do is I want to set up our Flux Networks. Now we're going to need some Flux dust for that. So if we go to the recipe, it's relatively simple. We need some redstone dust, some obsidian, and that gives us Flux dust. So I set up a very simple obsidian generator. Getting hung up a bit, there it is. Basically surround a stone barrel with some blocks, pour some water over the top, and have some pipes pumping out into a chest, and that will convert the lava into obsidian. Relatively simple, and that's what's given us here. So I'm going to need a few stone blocks, obsidian blocks. I'm going to need some redstone. Now I've had a compressor running to basically compress a load of our stuff down to stop wasting so much space. So let's just pop as much redstone as we can. And what we're going to do is go downstairs, because if you remember from our earlier episodes, we've got a piece of bedrock here. So if I grab, let's grab some purple, pop that there and there. And then if I take a piece of obsidian, now if I throw this redstone and not get it picked up again, and now if I punch this, you'll see that what we've got is flux dust, which is what we want. Take my diamond pickaxe. We're quite lucky on that one, because normally what will happen is the obsidian will turn into cobblestone. So the fact we've still got our obsidian is good. So we have our flux dust. Now what I'd like to make first is a flux controller. And for that we're going to need some flux cores and flux blocks. Now the flux blocks require flux cores, and the flux cores themselves require eyes of ender. So I've set up a modular storage with a 300 card in here, just because you can see we've lots and lots of resources. So I'm going to take some ender pearls out, and I've got some blaze powder as well. So if I go here, grab our flux core, we'll grab as many eyes of ender as we can. We'll do some flux cores. Let's just get 16 of those. And we want some flux blocks. So 4 of those for now. Is that enough, I wonder? Oh, 1 short. So we need some more flux cores. Right, let's get 12 flux cores, because we're probably going to use those. 1 flux block, and that's our flux controller. So we're also going to want some plugs and some points. So the flux points, we're going to need some more flux blocks. So I can make the 1. So I'm obviously going to need to make up a load more flux dust. So if I grab my flux plug, do I have enough for cores? No, I don't. Right. So grab some more redstone. Got 27 there. Actually, I've got a load sitting in this thing. Let's go just make up a ton of it. Will that be excessive? Possibly. Yeah. So let's get rid of, we don't need those signal plates. We'll go back down to our little area. Pop that in. Now hopefully as you can see on this time, it's turned it into cobblestone. Right, so that gives us a load more flux dust. Right, I need some more obsidian. Let's see, where were we? Flux blocks, flux cores. I can make 8 of those. I'm just going to pop silver dust away. Okay, so that gives me 35 flux cores. How many of these can I make? Let's make 4 flux blocks. I want at least 1 flux plug. And that's our flux plug. And I want some flux points, which just requires a block of redstone, which we can easily make. There we are. Inventory is too full. Okay, so we have our flux plug, we've got a flux point, we've got a flux controller. So how am I going to do this? I'm just going to pop my flux controller down anywhere at the moment. It doesn't need to be connected to anything. So pop that in there. First thing I want to do is create a new network, and we'll just call this main for now. I'll just leave on that. We'll set the security to public because it's a single player game, so don't need to worry about that. And we'll select that as our main network. Now we need to attach our plug. Now, I've got a sneaky suspicion that these are not going to work with XNet, but let's find out. So yeah, that doesn't appear to be connecting. Just check. Yeah, so that's not connecting there at all. So it doesn't look like these are going to work with XNet. I just want to verify that's the case. I don't know, let's put the little connector out. Let me just see if it appears in my controller. No, I can't see the flux plugger there at all. So we're going to need a way of getting the power out of the XNet into here and then drain, making that available into our network. So I think RF Tools has a power cell. What would it be called? Dimensional cells. Here we are, power cell low, and for that we need these. We just need blocks of redstone, which we can easily get because I have them over here. One of the great things about getting RF refined storage set up will be less running backwards and forwards, I hope. Right in there. So power core low, I want 8 of these will do. And I want at least 2 of these. What am I missing for the next one? Machine frame. Okay, so we just need some blue dye, which is simply lapis. Take 3 of those. A bit more redstone. Now the power cells themselves are a multi-block. So I'm just going to pop this here and here. And one thing I am going to need from RF Tools is a wrench, the smart wrench. Apparently you need more lapis, which I've got loads of over here. that in there. I give it a smart wrench. And the reason I need the smart wrench is because this is going to be our input. So I set that side to input. And then I want to pop just up here. This is going to be our output. And then if I get my flux plug, pop that on there. What I can do is I can go to RF Tools, not RF Tools, XNet. I can say create an insert into there. That will then start charging up our power cell, which if I then go to my controller, should mean that I have power available in this network. And is there a way of seeing it? Doesn't look like it's outputting at the moment. And it's definitely set to output. Yep, and that's connected. So, have I got anything that I can use? Well, I'll tell you what, let's build our controller. And for that, we're going to need some silicon, some advanced processors, and some quartz enriched iron. Quartz enriched iron, easy. It is iron and nether quartz. 24 will do. And the advanced processor is a raw advanced processor, so we're going to need some diamonds. We're going to need some processor bindings, and for that we need string and slime of some kind. Now slimes was a bit of a problem to come by, because the easiest way to get is mushrooms, or you can use mystical agriculture. There's lots of ways of doing it, but the way I found the easiest, and I know I put it in here, just got to find it. Okay, I don't know where it's gone. It's probably in this one. Actually. There it is. So I got a poppy between episodes. And let's just pop that all away. And I'll turn that into red dye. The reason being is I want to make a market. And for that we need red wool. And so the easiest way to do that is we just grab some string, of which I have plenty. Turn that into wool. And then surround the red dye with this to get my red wool. And if I then make up a market and pop you down somewhere and wait for the comedic entry of the guy, the Emerald Muncher from space. Now he is an Emerald Muncher, so let's go grab some emeralds. Of which I have a few. Because this guy sells white mushroom seeds. So I can pop that in there and get 18 white mushroom seeds. And then we just need to plant them in some dirt or mycelium. I wish I had some more ancient spores, because that would make things easier, but let me just grab some dirt. Let's put that red wool there. I wonder if this will spread. So if I pop that down there and then pop my mushroom in here, let's see if that will spread onto it. Otherwise I'm going to need to make a Botany Pop, which again, not too difficult. We have, let's make that up quickly if we can. So I need some terracotta and a pot. Now I've got plenty of clay. So I need, what, 5 pieces of that. Don't want the glass. I also want 3 pieces of this. Let's pop that in there for the time being. What we could do is pop that in there, pop that in there. Put that away. Let's see if this spreads. It should spread. Meanwhile, I'm going to have a sleep through the night and keep the phantoms at bay. So that's our 5 terracotta, 5 bricks. Turn the bricks into a flower pot. Surround these. And I would like that to turn into mycelium. Let's see if I can... No, we'll just pop this down here for the time being. I'll grab a piece of dirt. Pop that in and then pop our white mushroom seed in. Now that's going to take about 1.5 minutes to grow, hence the reason I wanted the mycelium. But once that's done, we should be able to get slime just using this handy witch water here. So let me let that grow, and then once we come back, we'll get our refined storage set up. Okay, so I've got my first mushroom. I've also made some stone up. And one thing I have also made between episodes, and you can see, is this time in a bottle. This is a tick accelerator. So I can go onto my furnace and go put however much time in there, and it will just speed up the process by however much I put in there. So, 4 times speed, etc. As you can see, I've got, just under 5 hours stored up in there. I did have a lot more, but I was processing a lot more ore. So if I just right click my mushroom on this barrel, I get slime. That then fills up and that will convert into witch water. And we can repeat that from our mushroom. So I should have enough slime to just get started. So it gives me 9 slime balls. So what I want is processor bindings, as many as I can get. So that should be a good starter for me. And then we want our advanced processor. So what else do we need from that? We need some diamonds, redstone, and silicon. Silicon's relatively easy to get. All we need to do is take some nether quartz and cook it up. And again, we'll use the time in a bottle. Give you an idea how quick it is. You can see that's pretty quick. So I should have some silicon in here now. There it is. Just pop it in the crafting chests. And diamonds, I'm just going to grab, I've got some blocks of diamonds. Pop those. So we'll pop that in there, and then that should be everything for our advanced processor. Make 7 of these up. Through here. And we've now got our 7 advanced processors, which should mean you can use some stone, which I did make up earlier. So we'll make our machine casing, and then we'll make up our controller, and we have our controller. I'm just going to pop this over here for the time being. We are going to move things around. Now, one thing I want to try and do is if I grab my flux point, pop that in there, make sure it's on the main network. Now, why are you not providing power? So you're definitely output. Oh, because I need to select the network for this one. Dull. And there we go. We now have power for our controller. So the other thing I'm going to need is a crafting grid. We're going to need some pattern grids, etc. But if I can get the crafting grids done first, we're also going to need some drives. So rather than you watch me make these, we'll pause here and we'll get some discs made up, etc. And then we'll start getting stuff piped in. Okay, so I have made up our crafting grid, I've made up our controller, we've got our drives in place. In the quests, there is, under the storage one, you've got a quest for refined storage. So you can make up a cable, make up a controller, and if you make up a 1K storage part and a disk drive, it will give you a 4K disk. So I've got 3 4K discs, so what I want to make up is a 16K. So the only thing I need is another improved processor. I actually think I have. Yep, I do. Have enough here. So we'll make up a 16K storage part. And then if we just put the 16K storage part and the storage housing together, we'll get our 16K storage disk. So if I just pop that in here, I now have 16K's worth of storage. So what I should be able to do is I've obviously got loads of stuff and I want to start getting it into here. So I think the easiest thing to do is I need an importer. So let's go and make one of those up, because we're going to be importing into the RF Tools network. And for that, I'm going to need some more, I think there's some basics as well. So let's make those up quickly while I'm here. What are we out of? Iron? I don't believe that for 1 second. There we go. Let's do 5 of these. Get those heated up. Meanwhile, I'll go. What else did I need? I needed destruction core, which needs some nether quartz. That should be enough. And our basics should be done, and they are. So importer, not cable. That one. Destruction core. Grab our importer. Now I should be able to attach this to this chest here, which will then attach to there. And that should start importing from this chest. I don't have any speed upgrades or anything at the moment, so it's just going to do one item at a time. But if we go to our crafting grid, you can start seeing lots of stuff already in here. And the other thing we can do is we could just take stuff, if I just tidy this up. So if I take all my flux powder and put that in, and we can also take things like all this nether quartz dust, that can go in, etc. So we've got our refined storage. What I'll do between the episodes is I will make up some more discs. I want to get as many discs in as possible because I want to get rid of all the chests. I want to have everything piping straight into the refined storage, because we're going to do a lot of auto crafting with the crafters, etc. In fact, do we have enough stuff? We just need a construction core and a destruction core, a crafter. And can I make a gold crafter? I just need an iron crafter, so that just needs blocks of iron, which, given the amount of iron we have, should not be a problem. And we'll probably need some more gold as well. So if I do iron crafter, one of those, and a gold crafter, and then the other thing we need is some patterns, which I've got the recipe for here. First pattern, ironically, will be made to make patterns. So I'm just going to pop this here for the time being. As I said, this is all temporary, and I'm going to need a pattern grid, so we're going to get that crafted up. Hopefully shouldn't take too long. Pattern grid requires a grid. So we just need, again, I need some glowstone dust. I've got plenty of that. And where are we? So construction core. Just do the one of those. Destruction core. Grid. Pattern grid, which needs an advanced processor. Make sure I haven't got any in here. I haven't. Okay, and I do need to make some more patterns. So what do I need? Redstone. again, not a problem. Okay, so we can now take this, pop this right next to our crafting grid, stick a pattern in. I think the first pattern I want to make is this one, so we'll add that in. Actually, we'll take that off because I don't want it to be exact. And I can pop this into here. And now, to craft these, so if I do start, you say I'm missing quartz enriched iron, I'm missing glass, I'm missing redstone dust, but all of those are easy to get. So if I take this and turn it into as much dust as I can, just throw it out for a bit. Pop the rest in there. And then we'll grab some glass. We'll give some, I've got some quartz enriched iron somewhere. Where are we? There we are. We'll drop that in there, that in there, that in there. Pop some of that in as well. And now I can make one of these and immediately I have a pattern. So there we go. We're in a much better place now. I could keep those there in terms of the starter. So we've got refined storage, we've got crafters in place so I can start making up a load of patterns, etc. We've got a power storage device, not a great one, but it will do for now. And we've got effectively unlimited resources. So we're in a really good starter. I think what I want to do next is I'm going to probably between episodes, I'm going to build myself up a builder and make this platform much bigger, and we'll start organising things. Because I think in the next episode I want to branch out into a mod. Now I'm not sure I either want to go with Botany or Mechanism, and I think I might go with Mechanism to start with, just because we can use the Mechanism to convert some of the resources we've got into something more useful for refined storage. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please feel free to give it a like. If you want to see more episodes, then please feel free to subscribe. And if you have any comments, any feedback, please feel free to make comments. I do try and answer every comment, and especially if you've got any ideas or etc. on how you'd like to see the pack progress. But until then, I wish you a very pleasant day. Goodbye.